Hi everyone, welcome to week one. I'm Robin and I am your instructor for this semester. So what I wanted to do in this video is just give you a little overview of what it is we're going to be doing this week. So every week you will look at a framework, and in the framework you will have both learning activities and assignments, and so that's what I want to go over. So for this week our focus is going to be on bloggings and PLNs. PLNs stand for Professional Learning Networks. Some people say Personal Learning Networks, but we're going to learn a little bit about it this week. We're going to talk more about it next week, and it's really the foundation of what we're going to be working on this semester. So a professional learning network is really that collection of resources that you use in order to help yourself learn. So you are going to read this week a few, maybe 4 or 5, I think, articles on PLNs to give you a little bit of background on it before we dig into it a little deeper next week. In terms of assignments, you're going to post an introduction by the end of the day on Wednesday. And the purpose of the introduction, of course, is to get you to introduce yourself to the rest of the class and to get a chance to see the other people that are in the class. Now, we are lucky this summer that we have a very moderate sized class. We have at this point 11 people in our class. Normally we have 25 to 30 people in a class. So this is going to be great to have a much smaller group. It's going to be great because we're going to have a chance to interact with everybody in the class, not just with a small subset of the class. And it's also going to be great because it will give us the opportunity to really customize and focus in the class as much as possible on the things that you all are interested in learning. So as you know from the Start Here section that you already looked at, part of what you did is complete a pre-class survey, and in that pre-class survey I asked you a few questions, including what else it is that you want to learn in this class specifically, and anything that I can do to help make the class as effective as possible. So I will take a look at those at the end of the week, and then I will make whatever changes we can make. So it's going to be great this semester. Now, in addition to posting your own introduction, I'm asking you to respond to at least 2 of your classmates. So 2 of the introductions of your classmates. So your original introduction is due by Wednesday. Respond to your peers by the end of the day on Sunday, which is the end of the week. Now, typically in our classes, we will have discussion boards, and we will have no discussion boards in this class because, number 2, you're going to be blogging this semester. Since this is a class on instructional technologies and HRD, I wanted you to blog for 2 reasons. One, because if you don't already have experience with blogging, it gives you some experience with that as a tool. And second, it puts it out there in the world. And part of what it means to be involved with Web 2.0 and 3.0 technologies is that we're not just operating behind the wall that no one can see, but we're also operating out in the world and sharing our knowledge and our expertise and potentially collaborating with other people. So you are this week going to create a blog. We're going to be using a blogging platform called Blogger. It's the free blogging platform that's attached to Google. So you're going to be able to use your ISU email, which is a Google email, in order to set up that blog. And I have instructions in the framework. I made some videos as to how to go ahead and set up your blog, and then how to tweak it up to make it look as wonderful as you want to make it look. So in addition to that, I'm going to have you write your first post, which you'll see when you look at the framework. It's going to be a very short introductory post. And then I'm also going to have you add your name and the URL of your blog to a class document. And the reason that we're doing that is so by the end of the week, we'll have a list of everybody's blog URLs so that we can go read each other's blogs. So we're still going to be reading each other's blogs. We're still going to be commenting on each other's blogs, but we're going to be doing it out in the world instead of doing it in Moodle. Now, in addition to that, this week I'm going to have you sign up for the technology tool that you are going to learn that will be the basis of your ebook individual technology paper. So as you know from reading the syllabus or from watching my video where I went over the syllabus, one of your assignments this semester is to write a paper on a particular piece of technology. And I have in Moodle, where all of our assignments are, there's an assignment sheet for this, and there's also a template because I'm asking you to use a very specific template. I'm asking you to use 4 very specific sections that you're going to write about. And the reason that I'm asking you to be so specific about the sections that you use is I'm going to combine all these into a PDF document so that you'll have an ebook on all the technology tools that the people in class wrote about. So it'll be a nice little resource for us. So the technology tool paper is due the end of week 5. You are going to pick the technology that you're going to use to write your paper on this semester. I'm sorry, this week. And so I have a link to a document where I've listed a bunch of technology tools, and you will pick one of those, sign your name up next to it, and that's the one that you'll work on. Now I have, I think, 30 or so tools there for you to pick from. If there's another tool that you're just dying to learn, something you don't already know but that you really, really want to learn as part of this class, send me an email and let me know what the tool is, and if it's something I think makes sense for this class, you can go ahead and use that. But for most of you, if not all of you, you're just going to pick something from the list. And again, some of the things on the list you might already be familiar with, some might be unfamiliar to you. I encourage you to pick one that you are unfamiliar with so that as part of the class you get a chance to learn something new. 2 other optional things for this week. One is to go ahead and start learning that technology tool that you're going to be writing your paper on. As I said, it's due the end of week 5. So the sooner that you start learning it, the sooner you can start working on that paper. And then finally, you might want to get a start on week 2. Both week 1 and week 2 have a fair amount of setting things up as part of them. So this week you're setting up your blog. Next week you're setting up some other things. So it might be a good idea to get a head start on it if you have a little bit of extra time this week. One other thing that I want to mention before we end it today. So here on the screen you will see is a little snapshot of our Moodle page, and I wanted to point out 2 things. One is in the upper right corner, I've created a section called Frequently Used Documents. So I've already mentioned 2 of those documents. So you'll see the first thing on the list is a list of class blog URLs, and we're also going to put our Twitter and our LinkedIn names in there. The second thing is the Tech Tool sign-up sheet. The third thing is for week 2. It's the tech and learning related blogs that we find valuable. So these are documents we're going to be contributing to as a class. They're going to be a great resource for us, but I wanted to put them in the upper right corner of the Moodle page so that you could easily find them anytime you need to go to them. And the other thing I just want to remind you of, we have a couple of community rooms set up. The first one is the Ask Dr. Robin forum. So if you have questions for me, this is a great place to put your questions because I will be looking at that at least once a day, Monday through Friday. You, of course, as I mentioned earlier, are also welcome to leave me emails or to set up individual times to talk with me if that's something that you're interested in. So that's what we're doing this week. Those are a couple of the resources that are available on the blog. If you have questions on anything, please let me know. Otherwise, I will see you online.